CEO of the NRL former is David Moffett. David, congratulations. Your bid is in, the South Island Kea. Tell us about it.
Well, it started in 2012, really, when, I had a bit of a discussion with Frank Endicott and a couple of other people about launching a bid for the South Island, centred in Christchurch. And at the time, even though I knew the guys there at the NRL very well, David Gallop in particular, they weren't interested in expansion then, and they weren't interested in the South Island. So I've got a bit of history in that, and given a lot of the comments that Peter V'landys has been making about expansion and about the South Island and Christchurch, I thought that I would assemble a group of really knowledgeable people, and when they put the bids out, we will be ready to go for an expansion team in the South Island.
Is there room for two Christchurch bids here, because you are up against another one?
Mate, competition's always a good thing, isn't it? The only thing that needs to happen is that a bid needs to be won for Christchurch, representing the whole of the South Island. So I don't mind competition, and it'll ensure that the best bid will be chosen by the NRL, because they are the organisation that will choose the bidder.
Where did the name Kea come from? Why did you decide that name?
Well, I like the mountains, and the Kea is a cheeky, very inquisitive bird. It's regarded as one of the smartest birds in the entire bird kingdom. And I think it means an awful lot to South Islanders. It's got a great history, and I felt that a lot of its traits would lend itself to a team here, even to the point of being easy to chant, Kea, 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 when the team's playing. And it's also, I think, a bird that's in danger of extinction. There's only 7,000 left in the wild. And we've already said that we will give the Kea Foundation $1 for every ticket that's sold.
How important is it that a second New Zealand team gets established, regardless of whether it's in Christchurch or the South Island? Because Wellington want to put a bid in as well. Is it more important that we just get a second team, or does it have to be based in Christchurch?
Look, I think it's important that New Zealand gets a second team, but our bid will make it absolutely almost impossible for the NRL to actually, look at anywhere else, because we're going to mount a very professional bid, and it's going to be compelling for the South Island. And there's as we saw from the sellout of the Warriors playing against the Tigers in a pre-season game. It was a sellout, and there's an appetite for it here, because there are a lot of people that are fans of rugby league, but also fans of rugby and rugby league. And we believe that is going. And also the other thing too is we've got a fantastic stadium being built here, which I know will excite the NRL. And of course the biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the biggest things for me is that we've got instant competition with Auckland. Auckland versus Canterbury. We'll be sticking it to them. So their coach came out the other day and said, there's not enough room for another team in New Zealand. Well, when we win the bid, I'll most likely offer him a job, because he's a good coach. But we're coming, and I would think that an opening game for the stadium between the Kea and the Warriors would be phenomenal, mate. We'd sell it out now if we were in the position to be able to do that, because of the rivalry, and it'll be like State of Origin.
David Moffett, South Island Kea. This is another bid for another New Zealand team in the NRL. Do you have any relationship at all with Peter V'landys? Anyone there at the top echelon of the NRL at the moment, given the fact that you were the CEO in a former life?
Well, no, I've never met Peter, and I'm looking forward to meeting him as soon as we can set up a meeting. But I do know Andrew Abdo and have spoken to him, not about this, but we now that it's out there, we'll be arranging meetings as soon as we can, just to let them know that we're around, that we're going to be ready. I think we'll be ready by 2026, if that's when they're going to open bids. There is a view that Papua New Guinea's got the inside rail because of support from the Australian and American governments, and that's fine. But we believe that whenever that the league expands, that we will also be ready to be involved in another license, whenever that may be, and from 2026. So we're very bullish. We've already got some partners lined up, which is very exciting. And I sent you a 6-page deck, which I think demonstrates a professionalism that we have around this. And, I'm looking forward to it. The other thing, of course, that we are proposing, which I actually proposed for New Zealand Rugby before they went and signed off the Silver Lake deal, is that there will be fan ownership of the Kea. I mean, I am absolutely passionate about involving the fans.